Now in this video lecture we will go through rate law expression and your order of reaction. Now rate law expression is how to express the rate of reaction in terms of concentration of reactants, right? And just to recall before we go ahead with this lecture, in the previous video lectures we have understood that rate of reaction depends on the concentration of reactants or the concentration of products, and we also said as the reaction progresses the concentration of reactants goes down and the concentration of product goes up, right? We said that rate is equals to change in concentration of reactants or products divided by time, right? So reactants, concentration of reactants decreases with time and concentration of products increases with time, right? So if we draw a graph, we have done this also in previous lectures, we have studied the graph between concentration of reactants or products and time, right? We mentioned time on x-axis and concentration of reactants or products on y-axis, right? Here is your concentration. So we said that reactants, concentration of reactants decreases with time. That means if I move towards right on the time axis, the reactants decreases with time. If I'm moving towards this direction, your concentration of reactant will come down, right? So graph will look like this. Similarly for products, since we said that concentration of product increases with time, so this is how it will look like. If I move towards right, towards increasing time, then product will go up, right? Concentration of product will go up. Like here, concentration of reactant was coming down, so this is how your graph will look like. If concentration of products will go up, this is how your graph will look like, right? So this is for products and this is for reactants, right? Now in this video lecture we will look at the expressions, mathematical expressions, how this change in concentration of reactants, right, how the rate of reaction depends on the concentration of reactants, right? So there were two scientists, Goldberg and Weg. They were the first scientists who studied the dependence of rate of reaction on concentration of reactants, right? And they put forward a law which is a very famous law we know, and we have done this in chemical equilibria as well, law of mass action, right? So law of mass action was given by Goldberg and Weg, who first studied the dependence of reaction rate on the concentration of products or reactants, right? So as per the law of mass action, right, rate of reaction, right, rate of reaction for any generic reaction, let's take any generic reaction as A, this represent a balanced chemical equation, right, C plus D, capital D. For this kind of reaction where A, B, C, D, which are in small letters, represent the molar concentration of reactants and products, and capital A, B, C, D represents your reactants and products. So rate of reaction as per law of mass action is directly proportional to concentration of reactants, product of concentration of reactants raised to the power of A and B, raised to the power of concentration terms of A and B. This A and B is your concentration terms, that is molar concentration. It A is number of moles of A, B is number of moles of B. So rate of reaction depends on the product of the concentration of A and B raised to the power of raised to the power of, we can simply understand it as raised to the power of number of moles of A and B. Here the concentration terms or number of moles of A is A. Here the number of moles of B is B. Right? So rate is equals to, if I remove this proportionality sign, I'll put a constant A, then B, B. Right? This is your rate law expression as per law of mass action. Right? This is as per law of mass action. This is law, and we know that these are whatever chemical equation you have, right? So if you write the rate law expression, you have to write it strictly based on this law, right? Based on this equation. For example, if I have a reaction, say hydrogen plus chlorine gives you 2HCl, right? So rate would be equal to, as per this equation, K hydrogen ion concentration and chlorine ion concentration. So as per this equation, which is based on law of mass action, the rate of this reaction depends on the concentration of hydrogen and concentration of chlorine, right? So it depends on concentration of hydrogen and chlorine, right? We'll get back to this. Right, this is as per your law of mass action. Now, since this is an equation which is based on a law, right? If someone wants to experimentally verify this, right? Experimentally verify this means, if I experimentally do this reaction, if I do this experiment of formation of HCl gas from hydrogen and chlorine, then will I find this rate expression similar to this what I get from law of mass action or not? That is the story. So what scientists found, that experimental rate expressions were not always comply with the rate expressions given by law of mass action, right? So experimentally the rate expressions would be, rate is directly proportional to A, right, B, for the same generic reaction, right, alpha and beta. Here I put A and B, right, which is number of moles of A, number of moles of B. That means, as per this law of mass action, it means rate of reaction depends on A moles of, in this rate law expression, rate of reaction depends on A moles of A and B, small b moles of B, right? So to give rate expression, right, as per law of mass action, you can simply give the rate expression looking at the balanced chemical equation, right? But if you want to determine this experimentally, then the rate expression may not be same as this, right? Which means, as per my experiment, or as per the experiment done, if I remove this constant, if I remove this proportionality sign, I'll put a constant alpha. Here I write it as beta in place of A and B, right? So K is your rate constant, or we also call it as velocity constant, right? So this gives you, this is your experimental and this is your theoretical. rate expressions, right? This is your experimental rate expression. Right? Now this means, as per rate expression determined experimentally, the rate of reaction depends on alpha moles of A and beta moles of B. Right? That is, it does not depend upon total A moles of capital A and total B moles of capital B. Right? So rate of reaction depends on alpha and beta concentration terms. Right? That means, what is the difference between this and this? This will tell you the actual concentration terms on which the rate of reaction depends, right? And this tells you the rate of reaction based on your balanced chemical equation, right? Which may not be true, right? So rate of reaction is given by this rate law expression, this, right? And this may not be true because this is, as I said, theoretical, and this is your experimental rate expression, right? And alpha and beta may be equal to A and B, may not be equal to A and B, they may be less than A and B, right? It may be 0, alpha and beta may also be 0, right? So alpha and beta may be equal to A and B, may not be equal to A and B, or may be equal to 0, right? When compared to A and B, right? So alpha and beta in rate law expression, if you compare it with rate expression given by law of mass action, it may be equal to A and B, may not be equal to A and B, which is maybe if A and B here is 3 and 3 both the cases, so alpha and beta may be 2, right, in both the cases. We'll understand this in just a moment, when we'll do some examples, right? Just remember one thing, that rate expression given by law of mass action is your theoretical, right, which is based on your balanced chemical equation, and rate expression generated in the second case, right, this is your experimental, and this gives your actual concentration terms on which the rate of reaction depends, right? So this gives your true rate of reaction, this one, right? Now we've taken this example, right, and this rate expression is based on your law of mass action, and expressions that is built from using law of mass action is using your balanced chemical equation. So this rate expression is written based on balanced chemical equation, right? And what we found experimentally, we found that if I write this rate expression, right, rate expression, it would be rate is equals to K based on this experimental case, alpha and beta, right? Based on the experimental rate expression, this is how I will write the rate expression, right, for the same reaction. Based on experiment, we found that alpha and beta is equals to 0. They are not equal to, here A and B is equals to 1 1, here A is equals to 1 and B is equals to 1, right? But experimentally I found that alpha is equals to 0 and beta is equals to 0, right? That means, as per law of mass action, rate of reaction, right, between hydrogen and chlorine depends on hydrogen, concentration of hydrogen and concentration of chlorine, but as per rate expression that is built using your experiments, right? Experimental rate expression tells us that alpha is equals to 0, beta is equals to 0, right? So if I put it over here, anything to the power of 0, we know anything to the power of 0 is equals to 1. So here rate is equals to k, right? That means rate of reaction does not depend on concentration of hydrogen and chlorine in this reaction, right? So this gives us the true picture of rate of reaction. Rate of reaction does not depend on concentration of chlorine and concentration of hydrogen, right? So now I think it's clear. This is as per your law of mass action, right? Where A is equals to B, A is equals to 1, B is equals to 1. If I do the experiment, I found that I write it here alpha and beta, and I said here that alpha may not be equal to B and beta may not be equal to small b, right? So we found that here alpha and beta is equals to 0 based on experiment, right? So the rate expression based on experiment would be hydrogen to the power of 0, chlorine to the power of 0. So whatever is the concentration, right, it will turn out to be 1, right? So rate is equals to rate constant. Rate of reaction is equals to rate constant in this case, right? So we found that as per law of mass action, which was telling us that, which is theoretical, and it tells us that rate of reaction depends on concentration of hydrogen and chlorine, but actually we found that rate of reaction does not depend on the concentration of hydrogen and chlorine, right? Now this K is your reaction, sorry, K is your rate constant, or we also call it as velocity constant, right? I mentioned it over here. Rate constant or velocity constant is constant. It's a constant value for any reaction at constant temperature, right? So it is constant for a reaction at constant temperature. That means if you will change the temperature of the reaction, the value of rate constant or velocity constant will change. That means it depends upon temperature, and it does not depend on the concentration of reactants. It does not depend on concentration, it depends on temperature. And it tells us how fast is the reaction. More is the value of K or rate constant, faster is the reaction, right? High is K, faster is reaction, right? High is the value of K, faster is reaction. Now let's try to define it. In this expression, if I take 1 mole of A and 1 mole of B, right, then R would be equal to K 1 alpha B beta. It's 1. Here A is equals to 1 molar, B is equals to 1 molar. If I put this condition in this expression, I take unit concentration of A and B, 1 mole, that is 1 molar concentration of A and B, then this R would be equal to K, that is velocity constant or rate constant, right, is the rate of reaction when the concentration of reactants, right, it's taken as unity, right? That is why we also call it as specific reaction rate, because we have specified the concentration to be unity, right? So rate of reaction is equal to your rate constant. Here the rate constant would be defined as the rate of reaction, right, when the concentration is taken as unity. So rate constant, let's just define it over here. Here the rate constant, that is K, rate constant K is rate of reaction when concentration is unity, when concentration of reactants is taken as unity, right? That is why we also call it as specific reaction rate, right? Why? Because we have specified the concentration of reactants to be unity. That is why rate constant is also known as specific reaction rate, right? So we are done with rate expressions, experimental rate expressions, and rate expressions based on law of mass action, right? And Goldberg and Weig, I said, were the first scientists who studied the dependence of dependence of rate of reaction on concentration, right? They created or they formulated this expression, rate law expression, right? And we said that this expression, as per law of mass action, is based on your chemical equation, right? Balanced chemical equation. Whereas if we do experiment, if we want to verify the same experimentally, we found that this, in the rate law expressions, the concentration terms A and B may not be same as the stoichiometric coefficients in the balanced chemical equation, right? So here we write the rate law expression experimentally as alpha concentration terms are raised to the power of alpha and beta, right, which may or may not be equal to A and B, right, and it may be equal to 0 as we found here, right? And K is your rate constant or velocity constant. Its value is constant at constant temperature, and it changes with temperature, and is, if we want to define this rate constant, we will specify the concentration of reactants to be unity, right? So the rate constant is the rate of reaction when the concentration is taken as unity. That is why we call it as a specific reaction rate also, right? Now we will understand what is order of reaction, right? So order of reaction is taken from the rate expression, the experimental rate expression, right? It's taken from experimental rate expression, right? Which is your R is equals to K alpha B the power of beta, right? So order of reaction is your sum of the powers, right, to which this A and B are raised, right, in the rate law expression. So order of reaction would be sum of the powers alpha and beta, right, to which these reactants are raised in rate law expression. So the sum of powers to which the molar concentration, right, to which the molar concentrations is raised in the rate law expression is your order of reaction. So here the order of reaction would be alpha plus beta, right? Now depending on the value of alpha plus beta 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the rate or the order of reaction may be 0 order, first order, second order, third order reaction, right? So reactions are 0 order, right? 0 order reaction, first order reactions, second order reactions, right, like this. Let's take some examples. This first example is your since alpha plus beta, we said that alpha and beta experimentally were found to be 0 0. So alpha plus beta would be 0. So this is the synthesis of HCl is your zero order reaction, right? Now let's take example of the first order reaction, right? So first order reaction is, you have done this in the preparation of nitrogen, decomposition of ammonium nitrite, it will give you nitrogen plus H2O, right? And if you try to balance this equation, it would be like this, right? So now let's write rate expression, right, based on experiment, right? Experimental rate expression we will call it. And experimentally we found that the rate is directly proportional to ammonium nitrite, right? Or rate is equals to K ammonium nitrite, right? And here, if I write rate expression based on law of mass action, what it would be? It would be rate is equals to K. If you look at this, because to write rate expression based on law of mass action, I just have to look at the balanced chemical equation, right? So here, and the rate of reaction is product of the concentration of reactants raised to the power of stoichiometric coefficient. So here we just have one reactant, so it would be this raised to the power of stoichiometric coefficient. Stoichiometric coefficient here is 1, so it would be 1 here, right? So here the rate expression is same, experimental and theoretical, right? So here this is the case where the rate expression alpha and beta is equal to A and B, right? This is the example. And here the rate depends on ammonium nitrite raised to the power of 1, right? So here alpha beta, right? Alpha plus beta, here we just have one concentration term, or we just have one reactant, right? So alpha plus beta would be equal to 1, right? Beta is nothing, 0, right? So alpha is equals to 1. So this is your first order reaction, right? So we will say here that rate of reaction depends on your ammonium nitrite, concentration of ammonium nitrite. Let's take another example of second order reaction, right? Second order reaction is your dissociation of hydrogen iodide, second order. It will give you hydrogen plus iodine, right? This is your balanced chemical equation. So if you want to find the order of this reaction, experimentally we found that it depends on rate is equals to K hydrogen iodide, right? 2, right? So this is same as this concentration term 2, right, is same as your balanced chemical equation, right? So here also the rate expression for theoretical case and for experimental case is same, right? So here we will say that rate of reaction depends on the concentration of hydrogen iodide and raised to the power of 2 as in balanced chemical equation, or raised to the power of stoichiometric coefficient in the balanced chemical equation. So this is your second order reaction, because here if you find the value of alpha plus beta, this would be 2, right? Beta is 0 again. Here we have just one reactant, so alpha is equals to 2. So this is your second order reaction, right? Now similarly you have another case of third order reaction also. Third order reaction is, if I take this example, NO2 plus nitric oxide plus oxygen gives you nitrogen dioxide, right? So here, if you balance this